and welcome back to Keyframe.
Today we're going to be talking about Adventure Time! Specifically, since there are so many plot points in this very large series now, we're going to hone in on a specific plot detail.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, if you wanted us to talk about the entire thing, we can't do that with our time span.
Nope, segment's too short. But today we are going to talk about the Simon and Marcy plot. For those who don't really know a lot about Adventure Time, the Ice King and Marceline are somehow connected. The series itself follows the adventures of Finn the human and Jake the dog. Finn is one of the last human beings that we know of after the Great Mushroom War, and Jake the dog and Jake's family actually found Finn and adopted him. So they're friends / brothers. So throughout the series, they meet a lot of interesting characters, one of them being Marceline, and then another being the Ice King, which is one of the main antagonists for the first few seasons. Surprisingly, two characters that were once never even correlated with each other somehow become synonymous with each other after this plot point.
They originally teased the idea of them being connected with the episode I Remember You, where the Ice King brings all of these journals and all these photographs and pieces of paper to Marceline's house so that she can help him write a song in order to make princesses fall in love with him. What other motivation would he have? He loves princesses. But as the episode goes on, we find out that there's a little bit more happening here, where she starts reading out some of the paragraphs and these heartbreaking letters left behind by the original Simon Petrikov.
One of the other episodes later on that hints and delves more into the relationship between Marceline and the Ice King is Simon and Marcy. The episode follows the plot line of the 47-year-old Simon Petrikov and the 7-year-old Marceline. Now, for those of you who don't know, Marceline in the modern time of the cartoon is almost 1,000 years old. So imagine when she's 7. This is recently after the Great Mushroom Wars, and so Simon and Marceline are seemingly the only people left. As they wander the wastelands trying to find some kind of semblance of life, Simon protects her, but the only way that he can protect her is through the crown. Now that crown is tainted with some kind of chaotic magic that turns his mind, and it scares Marceline, but in order to protect her, he needs to use it.
Protect her from deers and...
Protect her from deer and goo zombies and
Hey,
whatnot.
The goo zombies were legitimate threats.
That was legitimate. That was honestly terrifying. I got heart palpitations while watching that the first time.
Yeah, I don't particularly like stuff with zombies and post-apocalyptic, but even seeing something like that actually made me feel for the characters. I felt more terrified from the candy zombies than I do from actual zombies. And that's saying something.
But something really interesting at the end of this episode is where a glob of radioactive bubble gum slinking down a wall happens to drop a can of soup and a can opener. Happens to. This hints at Princess Bubblegum and the Land of Ooze slowly emerging from the ruins of the Great Mushroom War. So there is hope at the end of the episode, as well as that slight nod to bubblegum. So it's wonderful. And somehow a world creates itself from that tragedy, which everyone kind of seems to look at Adventure Time and be like, oh, it's happy-go-lucky, or oh, it's just stupid and funny and I don't get it. But there really are dark sides to these things. It's very much like the duality of human life, where you can have happy and sad and tragic and good, and there's not really a stark line between good and evil. Like even the Ice King, he's insane and we know it, but he's not inherently bad.
Yeah. That pretty much does it for Keyframe and at the end of the semester. So, sorry, no more Keyframe until spring.
It's okay, I know you're gonna miss us.
Yeah, you're gonna miss us and all of ZBTV. But in the meantime, try and cope with your feelings of depression and horrible sadness with some cartoons.
Yeah, marathon that stuff.
Absolutely. And we'll see you next semester.